Hey, today I'm going to be talking about title tags for SEO. This is probably one of the most important parts of your SEO campaigns because this is what people see in Google. By what I mean seen in Google, I'm going to scroll down in just a second so I can show you a better idea. But title tags can greatly improve your traffic as shown here because this is what attracts people to basically see your website. So if you look here in this result, this is basically like Google results. You can see here, you're all gonna go ahead and put something that's attractive and explains what the page. Now, if you do something like this where it's just the brand name, okay, well in this particular case, the brand name kind of says what it is. But web design plus SEO, get a quote, web design, social media management services. You want to have something that calls to action on what it is I'm searching for. If you were doing a search for social media management, you want to see a website that says social media management. So this is what's going to attract me in to click on the listing. And you also want to have an attractive description, which is a different topic for a different day. But you get the idea right here. This has to also correlate. That helps me. This is visually going to attract me to click on your listing, or at least look at it, and this should actually sell on what it is to tell me, hey, you know what, I made the right choice. Now, here's some do's and don'ts as far as when it comes to title tags. Use a title that gives an accurate description of the page. This is very, very important. Do not go ahead and put generic things. If you have like an e-commerce website, don't have all the titles being the same, blue widget everywhere. You want to have blue widget that's green, blue widget that's yellow, blue widget that's has a thing that's going on the side. Be descriptive of what it is as possible. Have a compelling title that say best widget for 2019, or best widgets to improve your life, whatever it is. You want to have something that's attractive. Do not keyword stuff. Don't put blue widget, blue widget, blue widget, blue widget, but make something that you would want to see and read that sounds natural. Back in the days, people used to keyword stuff and that used to work, but now it's all about having quality web design and titles and stuff like that, and that's what Google is going towards. Your title should be brief but not very descriptive. For each different web page have different unique titles. Sorry, right here. Do not choose an irrelevant page title. It should always relate to exactly what it is. In the example that I mentioned below, you saw that it was just the brand name. The brand name is, unless you're J.C. Penney's or Walmart or something like that, your brand is not going to be as widely known. So nobody really necessarily cares about your brand like that. But then again, even if it was your brand, it needs to be descriptive of what it is, because let's say if you're even, I don't know, Colgate or something like that, you want to say toothpaste, because Colgate has different products that they sell. So we want to make sure we're clicking on the product we're actually searching for. And with SEO anyways, if it don't have the proper title, it probably wouldn't show up anyway. So that's another thing too. Proper titles help you rank better. Now, it's also important to have a certain word count limit, 55 to 60 characters, and do not use unnecessary words in your title. Remember, you have a limited amount of space and on point. You can use many different tools online. Uber Suggest is a great free tool. A very great free tool I'm going to show you right here. You can also use is Google itself to go ahead and do your research. Let's type in let's say plumbing services, right? So you can go ahead and see right here, this is a great easy tool that helps you distinguish stuff that people are searching for. These are very important things when people type in plumbing services. This is the most important things people are looking for. Near me, Miami, list, price 24/7. This is a great starting point to see what people are typing. Another thing that's very important you can go ahead and do is look at your competition. People fail to analyze the competition. Your competition is obviously ranking better than you are, clearly. Because if you're at this point in the game, you're still sorting out, you're not ranking. I would definitely go ahead and look at my competition and see what titles they're having, what is ranking, and what's working. Every niche has their own stuff that works. Stuff like video cameras, stuff like that. Teen reviews. That tends to be a lot of the results that show up. Certain services like plumbing and roofing tends to end up being a lot of, directory stuff a lot of the time. You see here best plumbers and best top 10. But here, this is very important. Plumber in Dara, because I'm in Dara, so it's gonna go ahead and pull up stuff that relate to my area. Let's get back to this right here. A couple more things. Let's see. Here's some couple tools you can go ahead and use, do some more research. SEMrush, these are all paid tools except Screaming Frog. It's a great tool. You can go ahead and it crawls your whole website, and it can basically show you all the titles you have on your website, as long as a lot of different information you can use to analyze your website. That's a different day. There's a lot of power in this particular tool. If you're using Yoast SEO, which is a plugin that helps you manage your URLs, you would basically scroll down to the Yoast tab. If you're using WordPress, do I have that page open? No, it's fine. This will basically be it. You go ahead and you click on edit snippets, and you can basically type right here and edit your title. And this basically is what Google is going to show up in Google. You see your title right here. It actually shows you that it's going to be cut off. Your title is too long. That's one thing about Yoast. It kind of helps you. It's very user friendly, and it shows exactly how it's going to look. That's why it's called snippet preview. So you type it in right. So you're going to go ahead, be straight to the point, put your main keywords all the way to the left. That's very important. But have something that's going to compel you. 21 tips. That means like, wow, this is very important. It's going to give me a lot of insight into what I'm doing. 21 tips to help you to 2018. 2018, 2019 is a very good keyword to use, because it shows relevance. Not every keyword search is going to be good to use those terms, because for one, you have to change it every year. But let's say if you're looking for plumbers, you don't care about 2019 plumber unless it's the latest trends in plumbing 2019. So you have to use with some type of a common sense to use when to use this stuff. Slugs, this is not really related to titles, but the slug is basically what shows up in the URL right here. Let's go down. Optimal length is 50 to 60 characters. Let's see anything here that's important to go ahead. Oh, your title tag, to keep in mind too, you want to keep it, the most important thing, short as possible towards the beginning. You see right here, this is what shows up in your browser bar, and you see it only allowed, I don't know how many characters that is, but 2-3 words. So that's also important. I mean, you're already on the page, but this is what visually shows on the page. Also, title tags are important for when they're being shared on social networks. It has to be a compelling title that draws people in to your social media. Because that's what it all is. Basically, clickbait is the best way you want to look at it as. What is going to entice the person to go ahead and click it? It's all about the titles, and sometimes having a nice image, depending on, if it's on social media, there's going to be like a thumbnail or something that's going to show up. Alright, so how to write a good title tag? Here's a couple of things. For one, as I mentioned, the 60 characters. Avoid adding unnecessary things in between when possible. Use pipes, which is a little line, or dashes when possible to separate things. Avoid using all caps. Caps mean you're screaming at people. People don't understand that caps are bad. That means yelling. That's what caps mean. Even if you're sending emails, do not put caps. I hate people to do that. Let's see, title lengths. Anything here? Alright, so right here we're going to talk about don't overdo SEO keywords. Keywords are great for searches for Google, but it's very bad for the actual user. This is great because it says a lot of different variations of keywords, which is going to help their searches, but it's not going to help your click-through rate, which is what click-through rate is basically what helps Google sees as your conversion rate, basically how well people look at your title and clicking to go to your website. Because you can be on page 1, but nobody's clicking on the results. That means you have a bad CTR. So here you can see it's keyword stuffed. Buy widgets, best widgets, cheap widgets, widgets for sale. That's great, but to the user it just looks bad. You want to go best widgets to improve your look of your home or something like that reads properly, in English. This is not even English at this point, let's go down. Every page should have unique title. I mentioned that earlier. Every page should have it. So if you're a services page, if you're talking about plumbing services, let's say leaky faucet is one page, bathroom services, 24-hour emergency, these are all going to be different pages. You want to have a build out of every page with content optimized just for those different things. Here's a little easy script that you can go ahead and use for most times. You want to have the product name, the category, and then the brand name. This is generally the way you should always write your stuff if possible. This works more if you're doing products, but you can use this as a guide for most services. So in this case, you might do, let's say, leaky faucet, emergency plumbing, and then Joe's Plumbing as an important thing. Let's see. There's often a time when sometimes Google will not use your title tags. For one, that's because maybe you didn't put one at all, or it was just too short and describe the page. The thing with Google these days is they tend to want to help you rank better, because it's all about the user experience, and obviously if there's better options as far as results, they may go ahead and show them before you. But let's say it's a specific smaller niche where there's not a lot of results, they may go ahead and read your page and create their own title that makes sense from them. Maybe you had you didn't put the actual page title, but you had a heading of the page. Let's see, sometimes it doesn't show because the query didn't match it. Let's see, anything else on this page? Alright, no, that's pretty much it. I just want to go ahead and keep this brief. That's a general summary. Just to recap, keep your titles under 60 characters. Do not keyword stuff them, meaning do not put your keywords repetitive or variations of it. Have your main keyword and then describe it shortly and tell them why within 60 characters. I'm seeing that, and yeah, do your keyword research. That's the most important thing writing titles. Do your keyword research. Use a tool like Uber Suggest. KW Find is another great one, or use Google to see what people are typing out. That's the most important thing for writing a title, is find the right keyword. Go for things that are broad, and by broad, I'm sorry, not broad, more specific when you do your keyword research, meaning like, let's say tires is a very broad topic. You want to go ahead and put, let's say, racing. The more precise it is, the better chance of you have it ranking, because tires can mean so much compared to doing tires for racing, or even tires for racing in Omaha. That's more of a what they call long tail. You have a better chance of ranking for something that's more specific with less competition than something that's very broad. That's a very pro tip right there. That's it. Thank you.